Welcome back to another Toyota video. Today we're showcasing the new Toyota 4Runner that I just picked up recently. This right here is a 1995 Toyota 4Runner SR5. I'll talk a little bit about the history as far as what I know, but as you guys can see, it's really nice. Just got done washing it a couple hours ago. Went through the inside, vacuum cleaned it. Just haven't done a full wipe down yet. Does have some flaws for being a 30-year-old truck, but nothing crazy. Very nice body. A little rust, but nothing crazy. Super clean frame. Really nice clean frame. Nothing crazy. A lot of surface rust, but nothing structural. Very nice paint job. And it still has the nice decals on it. Second gen 4Runners are known for having broken fuel door. Nice aftermarket 15-inch wheel. These are really nice. I plan to put these on my red truck, and then I'll probably swap the red truck over to these. These are some mud terrain 33 12.5 15s. These tires are pretty bad, even though they do hold air. Has lots of crack. I probably wouldn't run this if I'm gonna daily the driver. But they're still good for off. Driveway is kind of crowded, so we're just kind of give a quick walk through here. Ooh, I like this truck too. The front end doesn't look that pretty. It used to have an ARB bumper, but the past owner took that off. Surprisingly, this truck doesn't have any lift. There's no ball joint lift or anything, and it's somehow clearing these 33s. You can see they're pretty all bad, so I will throw these sets away shortly after I find some stock ones. So here is the story behind this 95. As far as what I know, the past owner had it. It originally is a automatic. This is originally an automatic that they have converted to a manual. During that manual time, they went ahead and did a 3.4 swap because the 3.0 engine was bad. So they did a 3.4 swap. He and his buddy, and eventually along the line, he kind of didn't really finish the full swap. You know, didn't get all the lines. Vacuum line, air intake setup, and such, and it just kind of sat for a while. 253K on the dot. So you did a 3.4 swap and just never finished buttoning up everything, and he kind of just lost hope. Now, if you guys remember last year when I picked up that 4Runner, that green one that was really nice, this owner here came to me. He wanted to trade me this for my green one that I had, and at that time I went to go look at it. I'm like, man, this thing looks nice, but give me some time. Let me see if I can sell my 4Runner first. And I eventually ended up selling my 4Runner instead. And then during that time, he's like, all right, I changed my mind anyways. I want to get it fixed up. And then he took it to a shop in town. And that shop, I guess they had it for like a few months, like 2-3 months, and they did really little work to it. And then they never really finished what he wanted to get done. So the owner was like, screw it, I'm gonna go back and get it. Got his 4Runner back from the shop because they did a horrible job eventually. And then he messaged me. The owner messaged me, hey man, I'll sell it now if you want to buy it. You know, it's not fully fixed yet, but everything else is just small tweaks that needs to be fixed. And then eventually, this was last week, you know. This was last week before I bought my 3.4 motor. So I was like, oh, man, I ended up buying my 3.4 motor, and then he finally responded back to me. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to sell now. And he just gave me a really good deal, and I couldn't resist it. So that's pretty much how I picked it up. if you guys know anything about the 4RUNNERs, the windows rarely works. This one still works. This one does have the carpet remove on the back end, but they put some really nice rubber, so that works for me. It looks much more heavy duty. Missing a door right there. That carpet is missing the back, which is no big deal. And then he also has some extra parts here. 3/4 downpipe, 3.0 oil pan, and just some of the miscellaneous parts. So that's the story on it. So yes, this is a 3/4 swap 4RUNNER 2nd gen, but it needs a little bit of work. I'll talk about what's going on here as we go through the engine. And this truck does start, but it has some issue. It's not running right. It feels like it's a misfire. I feel like it has a misfire, or I feel like it has a vacuum leak. Here is the engine bay for this 4RUNNER 3.4. Lots of mess. A 3.4 is not this messy, guys. Let me inform you guys that real quick. It is not this messy. Now, if you guys all know, I bought a lot of 3.4 parts already for the red truck. First thing we had to replace was the battery. The battery was dead, so I ended up putting my new battery in. And then the second thing was that this engine had a cold air intake as well, but it's much shorter, and I think it's the wrong size. So I ended up putting my cold air intake. This is the cold air intake from Toy Only Swap. So I ended up putting that. I ended up deleting the charcoal canister. I ended up removing all the sensors for the ADD 4x4 system. And I have to clean up this engine bay because there's some things that's just not done clean. Like, for example, this is a positive wire. It's way too long. It shouldn't be this long. They had it all wrapped up to here. Tie into a fuse, and then another wire goes into these box. This is the 80 amp that you have to tap into, and then that black and red wire, which is here, that went to the starter. This is too complicated. It shouldn't be like that. All right, so we're gonna have to fix some stuff, clean some stuff up a bit. Coolant was definitely low. I ended up putting over 1 gallon, about 1 gallon of coolant, and bled the system. Oil is definitely bad. Oil needs to be changed. I did put about half a quart of oil because it was a little bit low earlier. The built, he says, the owner said the built was the wrong size, so this is maxed out right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my alternator bill on it, which is supposed to be shorter, because it's maxed out and it's gonna start hitting that steering. And there's an exhaust leak where the exhaust meets up with the Cadillac, and that's just a simple donut. So there's a few things that needs to be fixed, and then after that I need to find out why it's having some small hesitation. It feels like a vacuum leak, or I feel like it's not getting air or complete fuel, or it's getting air, but I feel like it's not getting fuel or something. It just feels like when it's running on 5 cylinders. So I gotta go through it and check it out. I already checked some of the spark plug, make sure everything's good, but we're gonna have to clean up all this stuff first so that we can eliminate, do some elimination in the process. This hose is the wrong hose. You can see it's too flex, but right now it works. Radiator is still good. And I know you guys are probably wanting to hear it, so I'll show you guys the noise. Now the 3/4 harness that was made for this engine, this was made by somebody that's very well known in the community for doing 3/4. This guy that made the harness, he's the same person that's making mine right now. So I know the harness is good. So we just have to go down the list and see what the issue is, whether that's fuel, spark, or whatever the case is. So whenever I start this vehicle, sometimes it starts and it dies right away, and sometimes it needs me to step on the gas. So let me go ahead and start it up for y'all. I'll go ahead and start it up and let you guys see what the symptoms are. You guys see that? It starts right away. All right. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that squeaky belt. That's the belt issue. A little bit too long, not a big deal. And it also wasn't getting heat. So I think the heater hose might be swapped around. But when I was bleeding the coolant system, it wasn't getting heat. Right now it's not hot heat. This is a cold start. Last time I started was about 2 hours ago. Haven't found out what the check engine light is. I'll go ahead and troubleshoot that later on with my tool. And earlier it was idling around like 300 to 400, barely on a heartbeat. I gotta fix whatever this heat is. But the first thing we gotta fix is the engine. It just doesn't sound healthy. It sounds healthy, but it sounds like it's missing something. I think it's missing an extra cylinder. So either spark or bad coils. It is low on gas, so I might have to go get some gas and put it in here. And I can't drive this right now. I don't trust it enough. I don't want to die in the middle of the road. You guys can see it. Sounds really nice and healthy. But it does sound like it's missing something. No ticking or no knocking. That's good. So I think it might just be missing some kind of wire or some kind of small thing, man. I also noticed that when they did a swap, it doesn't have an evap box. So I wonder if that might be the issue as well. I'm not too familiar with the evap system on the 3.4, but I might have to put my evap for this truck on here and just see how it is. It is also producing a little bit more black smoke than I want, so I'm not sure what that cause might be. And then right below the Cadillac has the exhaust leak right here at that flange, but that's easy to fix. Sway bar, we're gonna delete that front sway bar, no need for that. I'm not worried about the exhaust leak. That's easy fix. That right there will be a quick tour on my new 4Runner. I will slowly take my time troubleshooting it, and hopefully we can get it running well. In the meantime, I'm gonna send in the machine. I'm gonna send in the heads for this one here. That's going to the machine shop tomorrow. And then we have to clean a lot of the 3.4 parts for this rig. I gotta wash all those parts in the floor down there. So this will be some fun project. This red one, we're gonna take our time. No rush for that. And to kill time, we have extra time. We'll go ahead and work on the white 4Runner and get this guy running well. So that's it for this video. I'll keep you guys posted once I find out what the culprit is, because it's always nice to find what the culprit is so that you become more informed for the next time. So this is the white 4Runner. It does have a Viper. This is just a security system. So I can open it and lock it. That's pretty nice. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.